Yeah, I mean they were ready to play, obviously, and took it to us. I think it was 20-2 right out of the gate. So give them credit; they were fantastic. I didn't feel like I did a great job the last 2 days of getting the guys ready to play, but this was all about Cleveland and their performance. They were phenomenal.
What do you take away from the effort and energy in the second half?
That was important. There's going to be games in the 82 where things don't go your way, and you have to show who you are. And I was impressed with the guys' energy and the way they kept playing, and that's important to establish that.
You mentioned your first answer. You feel like you could do a better job getting the guys ready. What do you feel like you could do better?
I'm not telling. I know what I could have done better, but I'm not telling you.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the keys to executing against that kind of front line and size that they have defensively?
We got to put the work in.
And then just J.K., the force he's played with, and in the first half, what can his force add to matchups like this where you're facing?
Yeah, I mean that's what J.K. can do when we're struggling to get offensive rhythm. He can break down a play and get to the rim and get fouled, and that's an important quality for us.
What did you think about DeAnthony? How he looked?
DeAnthony looked really good. It's great to get him back out there. He's a hell of a two-way player and does a lot of good things for us. So I'm excited to get him back.
And then what are you looking for Sunday in the response?
Well, we got to respond. We got to, we need to practice tomorrow. We got to execute better. We had 13 turnovers in the first half. We were completely disorganized, and that's where I feel like we need the most work. We've got to continue to work on our organization and just getting settled so that we can execute and understand how to execute against a team that's playing, at that level defensively.
Is that just time and reps and practice?
Yeah, let's practice tomorrow and get ready to go on Sunday.
13-0. I think it's the longest streak since you guys went, obviously 24-0. At what point is a team not just hot, like this is who they are?
At what point
does a team they're just not hot, like this is actually who they are?
Yeah.
When you make that declaration.
Well, they've been building to this for several years. I mean, this is not just like all of a sudden the Cavs are good. They've been good. So the continuity matters, and they've obviously off to a great start. Clearly one of the best teams in the league.
Steve, what differences have you seen in this year's Cavs compared to others?
I don't know. I don't know them that well. I mean, we saw them the last couple of years, and it's it's the same group, right? So they're playing at a high level right now, and they're young and they're on the rise, and so they should be getting better, right? I mean, this is whatever it is for the starting group, and Kenny's doing a great job with them, and they're playing at a high level. So I don't know. I leave that answer up to the analysts. I just know they kicked our ass tonight.
How'd you feel today? When did you know you were going to be able to go?
Probably after my pregame warm-up, I felt good. Felt good when I went in there the first time. Got a little bit dizzy again going back in the second half. But after I was in, I felt good.
As far as the first half, is it just one of those halves? Those things kind of happen?
Nah, I mean, we didn't make them feel us at all. I feel like they kind of knew what we were going to do coming into the game. And I think when we messed up, we just kind of turned internally instead of just expressing to each other how can we fix it. I think once we messed up, our communication dropped defensively. Partially maybe not knowing what we're doing, not wanting to mess up something. So I think in the second half we did a better job of that, just calling something so the whole team knows what we're in.
What are you able to kind of take away from that second half that maybe can carry over into those last game?
Can play with anybody, can beat anybody. I think we outscored them in the second half. I think our bench group did a good job second half coming in, just trying to fight and claw back. So I'm most proud of that group.
Steve said he wants to see better offensive execution. What goes into more precise offensive execution and improving that?
Yeah, I think getting to our 5 spots, I think a lot falls on me and Steph and Draymond of getting us organized into things. I think we did a better job in the second half. But just like I said, when things aren't going well, how can we just keep opening up vocally to our teammates instead of just looking internally? I'm guilty of that same thing. As a point guard, you got to get your team into something, especially when they've scored a couple in a row. What's something we can get to get a bucket? And I think we kind of did that in the second half, but I think we also didn't have to do that as much because we were getting stops.
In terms of Cleveland, what they brought to the table, what challenges did their defense, especially in that first half, present with their size and ball?
Yeah, I think obviously you have two great rim protectors in Mobley and Allen. I think, but we didn't make them, work at all. I think we just were content with, oh, we see them, let's pass it. Sometimes you just gotta, take it at them and see what they got. And I think, a couple times Moses did that in the second half, and he got a bucket. And it just lets them know that we're going to challenge them at the rim, even though, we know what they bring. But a lot of times in the first half, we just kind of saw them in front of us and we're like, oh, let's pass it. And I think we just got to be more aggressive in that way.
What do you feel like went wrong in that first half?
Our defense, we didn't come out with enough physicality, enough edge that first half. They're a really good team. They was moving the ball. We let them get some easy threes to start the game off, and once they got their confidence, they had it going, and they shot the lights out first half.
What do you take away from the energy that you guys played with in the second half when they've been close to the game to finish?
We just got back to our identity. We know if we play our style of basketball, we play our to our standards and hold up our principles, that we're going to be tough to beat and we can play with anybody. But also, if we don't play with that edge, we can be beat pretty easily. So just knowing that we got to go out there and play with that aggressiveness, that physicality every night, it's a learning.
What kind of challenges did they present with their dribble penetration, especially in the first half? It seems like there were they were able to break down the defense with a lot of driving kicks.
No, credit to them. Kenny has them moving the ball really well. Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell was putting a lot of pressure on our paint. And they was kicking it out, and then guys made shots. So they're a great team for a reason. They haven't lost for a reason. So we got some film to watch and see where we could get better at. But it's going to be a learning experience for us, and we'll bounce back.
3-1 road trip, what are the keys to finishing this thing strong?
Just playing our brand of basketball. When we play fast, we're physical, and we're scrappy, and we're connecting on both ends, we're tough to beat. We just want to win or lose, we want to make sure we're just playing our style, playing our identity, our brand, and keep building and stacking good days. And if we stack good days, we'll be a really good team.
Good to have DeAnthony back out?
Definitely. Having him back, having BP back, was great for our team, great for our energy. When we talk about having strength in numbers with our team, us being deep, and us having everybody back is going to be a boost.
Moses, what was the biggest difference between the second half and the first half from your perspective?
They made a lot of shots in the first half. They got a lot of open shots. They was driving and kicking it. They made a lot of shots.
What kind of ball or what kind of pressure do Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell put on a defense with their dribble penetration?
Yeah, they made the right play a lot. So it wasn't even necessarily that they being overly aggressive, but they drove to the basket, drew two, and made the right pass, and guys was knocking down shots.
What did you like the most about the second half? Steve said he thinks it's important to play through games even during slow starts. What did you like about the way you guys were able to finish in that second half?
Yeah, not to keep dropping quotes, but they say don't judge a man in times of comfort, judge him in times of I forgot them, but it's like judging in time of uncomfort. But just seeing that we got that, being down like that, and being able to keep fighting and keep the pressure going, and not even pay attention to the score as much as paying attention to what we're doing on the floor, that's the telltale sign of a good team.
What clicked better in the second half offensively?
We were more aggressive offensively and defensively, but it started on defense. Pressure into the ball. Stack was talking about it at halftime, making plays and making it uncomfortable for him, and then that translated to good offense.
How do you want to finish this road trip? What are you looking for on Sunday against Oklahoma City?
Yeah, I want to finish it the right way. It's been a great road trip so far. We can't let the losses stack. So, we just figure out what we need to execute and get ready for the next game.